So a lot of the times when companies are wondering how much do pylon signs cost, one of the things that they have to keep in mind is the height and the placement of that future pylon sign. And one of the services that we offer through Airweb is Site Scout, which is used by either sign manufacturers or the companies themselves to determine what is that most optimal sign height and placement, which of course leads into factors of how much is a sign going to cost. So those factors do play in, but with Site Scout, what we do is we quantify the return on the investment from the client. So a client can look at Site Scout and our deliverables and they can compare their view shed analysis, which shows what is the visibility from a 50-foot height sign height or a 70-foot sign height. That way they can see 360-degree visibility of who can see that sign from what perspective. The good thing about this part of our deliverable from Site Scout is that this is relayed on top of Google Earth. So all of the structures, the trees, all of the information in 3D is represented in this viewshed analysis. Now that's just one part of Site Scout, but when we go over to this next part, we can also see the viewshed analysis overlaid on top of each other. That way you get a better understanding of what areas are impacted and what are not impacted by obstructions. So this also is included in Site Scout, and clients love this for presentations because then they can show this is what we are comparing between a 30, 40, 50-foot sign, and this is why it's going to cost the price that it does. So that's a great one within Site Scout, but one of my favorite takeaways from this deliverable is the artwork. So you can see right here on this artwork, we're comparing again a 50 and a 70 footer. This is for a Chick-fil-A pylon sign. And what we're doing here is we're taking street level photos. So these are not pulled from Google 360 photos. These are taking real time. That way we can guarantee the real time visuals of that location. If you're pulling things from Google, then you might have some outdated data. You might have some new construction that went up that wasn't accounted for from those 360 photos. So included in Site Scout is these street photos that then we overlay your artwork of your future sign. So in this one, the 70-foot sign obviously has a better visibility because it is a little bit higher than that vegetation right there, but we also have the viewshed analysis right here in the corner, so that way you can see where you're at in placement and context to that sign, and then the surrounding areas around it. Now, with Site Scout, you don't want to know just your optimal sign height. You also want to know competitors' nearby sign heights. So what we include is a fly around of nearby competitors' signs, and we give you a height assessment, which is a rough accuracy, or it's a rough estimate of the sign height, but at least you get an idea of what your competitors are putting up. So this is all important within the due diligence process. Typically, franchises are not going out there doing this own process for themselves. They have a sign manufacturing company that can do this for them. So this is great for the sign manufacturer to be able to look up local ordinances and compare that with the market research that they get from that area. Site Scout is a patent pending solution that we've created, and we are creating this not just for pylon signs, but this applies to apartment signage, whether you're doing signage on the exterior of a large building or a stadium, or even for future living situations, you know, where you want to see the 5th story, 20th, 40th story perspective before that development goes up and you actually start that construction. So if you are interested in Site Scout, you can learn more about it, and you can also read our Chick-fil-A case study at airwebdigital.com. And of course, if you have any questions, then you can email me at marvin@airwebdigital.com.